Hi there, good morning everybody. My name is Cindy Mark. I'll be your educator today. Welcome to our live class. This is called Shine and Design with Jazzy Beauty. Today I'd like to do a fun, nice, simple demonstration on how to apply the hybrid gel nail system. And today we're going to be focused on the French and the total French look, because there's many different ways you can do a French nail. And with the hybrid gel system, I'm going to show you a couple different techniques. One of the technique we'll be talking about is going to be your traditional French. With your application, there are different techniques that I can demonstrate. One of the techniques that I like to show you will be just your basic French pink and white application. We're going to do a white application first and then add the pink onto the nail bed. And then I'm also going to show you the reverse style where you're going to build the pink on the nail bed first, and that's called the reverse French, and then we add the white on the second part to extend the French design. Hi there, how you guys doing? Hey, so give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my other devices so that way I can see your comment as they come in. But for those of you that are joining us, I also ask for you to please share our live today as well. Let me see here. I hope everybody's doing great tonight. It's about 8:05 right now in Florida, and we just started to have a huge rainstorm. So I'm hiding away in my office, and I'm glad because I don't want to be out there. When it rains in Florida, it's pretty messy. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so again, welcome to our class tonight. And for those of you that never joined us before, what this class and this group is we are focused on teaching you basic demonstration and advanced demonstration on how to apply your hybrid gel system. And for those of you that are asking me what is a hybrid gel, so basically think of your traditional acrylic and gel products. Put that together and it combines, and we call that the hybrid gel system. So hybrid gel can be in many different forms. You may have heard of polygel before by Gelish. You may have heard of another type of gel by IBD. This is our brand is Zurno Inc. and the product name is T.A.P Hybrid Gel Enhancement. You're going to see everything a little bit backwards right now, but when I do my demonstration, you're going to see the product a little bit better. But in our kit here, so this is a hybrid gel system, and we call this T.A.P. And I got this name, I worked it out with a couple of my partners, and we came up with this name because basically this product is so easy to apply. All you really need to do is tap the product onto the nails. So that's where that name came from. So there's not really an acronym for the T, A, or P. It just means when I'm demonstrating, I'm going to say tap it this way, tap it that way. So that's where we got the name T.A.P from. So this box kit here, I just want to talk to you about that for a little bit. On the first shelf, you're going to get, so if you get a chance to check this product out, we did put a kit together for you, everything that you would need to get started. So in this French collection kit, you will get the top coat, the base coat. You get a jar that you can put your alcohol solution in, and it's just going to be your regular alcohol solution. So we just recommend that you use 70% or higher, and 70% is actually the best volume for us to use with this product line. That way it won't be too strong or too light, and it'll help for the brush not to stick to the hybrid gel product, and that's the only reason why we're using the alcohol solution. Here you'll have also the brush that we need to apply the hybrid gel with. And in this French collection kit, since we're going to be doing a French demonstration today, this is the best kit that I would recommend for you to get, because it has all the colors that you need, the pink, the white, the clear, and also 5 additional pink color. And these colors are really nice because it's designed to fit many different type of skin tone, and also the look of the French comes in many different shades as well. So if you can see here, this is the color chart that you will get with this kit. I just did the color chart for an example, but these are the colors that come inside the kit, and a lot of these colors are very compatible with many different skin tone. Personally, I like my French really pink as well, because I feel like the pinker the nail beds are, the more white the tips look. So let me go ahead and share this onto my page. Okay. All right, so I share that onto a couple of my pages. And also in the kit, what we did is we put together a package to where you would get the full size kit with all the French colors. And you'll also get a box of nail tips. So I have 3 different styles of nail tips here, but the shape that you're going to get with your kit is going to be the almond shape. And the almond is really nice because it is very easy to convert to the coffin shape. All you have to do is cut the tip of them and it becomes a coffin, or a square shape also would be really nice with the almond tips. So that comes with the kit. And on our website we also have the stiletto and also the new C-curve square, which I really love. That's our newest style, and it really makes life a lot easier when you're trying to do a nice C-curve square shape. Also in the kit you will get a couple different nail arts, and I use a lot of these nail art embellishments during my class as well to show you. We're not going to do any of that today, but on the next couple weeks, as I get more advanced in our training class for the month of June, I will be showing you a lot of different techniques with these nail art. And the best thing of all is you will also get a LED lamp. So this LED lamp is great because it's small enough to where you can dry every single type of gel that there is in the industry, even hard gel. Our hybrid gel, just to make sure you understand, it's not hard gel, it's a hybrid gel system, so it's not the same as a hard gel consistency. Hard gel, for a lot of people, if you used it before, is very complicated and it's very hard to use because you have to be very precise, and it can run, and you have to chase it, and you have to be really perfection to make sure the shape looks good. With the hybrid gel system, it's actually very easy to apply, and I'm going to show you guys and demonstrate that in a little bit. So you'll also get this LED lamp, so the base comes off, so that way you can cure the feet as well, and it's automatic, so it turns on as you put your hands in there, and it's good for 5 seconds, 30 seconds, and 60 seconds. And for the hybrid gel system, most of the time you would use the 30-second timer, and for the final cure, it'll be 60 seconds. All right, so I hope everyone is ready, and let me turn around this camera so that we can start this live class. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's see. Give me 1 second while I turn my camera around. Okay. So today's class is going to be about the French application. And I have my model here today. So this is a great model because she never complains. She's actually just a hand finger model for today. And I got her recently, and I love it because a lot of my classes and my videos are more easy to do now. So just give me 1 second while I adjust my camera. Okay, so if you guys already have purchased the hybrid gel set, you can go ahead and get that out if you want to follow the class. This is a real class, so I do want to explain every procedure that I do so that way you can follow along as well. Okay, so then there we go. Got my camera set up. So the products that we're going to need is going to be our base gel, our top gel. I'm going to use pink and white as well. So today we're going to be using our number 2 French white and number 6 nude pink. And I brought the clear out because the clear also helps me to cover any imperfection or encapsulate the pink and the white, especially if we're going to do an ombre look. So that's why I have this out today. And I have just a little bit of raw glitter. This is just a mixture that I put together. So whatever glitter you guys have at home or at the salon, you can utilize that as well. It's very compatible with the hydrogel system. Okay, and then we're gonna need our brush. So you also need your alcohol solution jar. When this comes in the kit, it actually is a green jar. It's just a glass green jar. The solution that we're going to apply in here is going to be our alcohol solution, and it's 70%. So make sure that you get at least minimum 70% volume. And just squeeze a little bit in there for, I would say that's enough for even a full set. So that's not a lot of alcohol that you use at all, which I like because this product line, it's great and it's money saving because you don't have to waste a lot of product while you're doing your application. Okay, so I'm gonna say bye-bye to this nail that I did earlier as an example. I'm gonna put one nail in here. So I'm just gonna use my model today, my finger on the stand. That way it can make it a little bit easier for me to demonstrate and talk about the different steps that we need to do for the hydrogel system. So the most questions that I get is, how do you do the French manicure with hydrogel? So I'm gonna show you the step-by-step demonstration from the beginning to the end, and we're gonna do a couple different techniques. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my e-file bits. We're gonna start with the mandrel bit. So some people call it the mandrel or some people call it the arbor bit. Either way, they are the same things. Okay, let me see here. So I'm gonna have these two out as well. First sanding band bit that I'm going to be using is going to be a medium grit. So you do want to prep the nail bed with the medium and not the fine. So the higher the number of grits in the file, the finer and softer it is. So we're gonna save this 240 grit buff sanding band for the buffing stage, which I use at the very, very end. So I'm gonna put that aside. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and take out one of my medium grit. So this is 150 grit, medium sanding band, and these are disposable. And it's great because if you go ahead and purchase our bit set here, you'll get one of the sanding bands included as well. I'm gonna prepare my e-file. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys our e-file that we're using today. This is a 35,000 RPM e-file. It's very lightweight, very quiet, and is compatible for left and right-handed manicures or nail techs. You can also charge this for 2 hours, and it's going to last for 10 hours of e-filing time, which for me, I really don't have to charge this more than one time a week because I don't keep my e-file on for 10 hours straight. And every time that I do use my e-file, it's very minimal. So we're gonna go ahead and insert our bit. Now with the sanding band bit, you wanna make sure that we don't turn up the speed too fast because this can cause a lot of friction because it is a paper sanding band, and when it hits the nail bed, it's actually very coarse, even though this is a medium grit. So you don't need a lot of speed to remove the shine. Okay, so first off, before I even use the sanding band on here, let's say this is a real client and she came for the first time and you just put her nails on. The first thing we want to do is actually we want to push back her cuticles. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my implements. And I always sterilize my implements first, so it's always ready to go. So in my implement case, I also put here my cuticle nipper in case there's any cuticles that I have to trim at the very end. It's my metal cuticle pusher. And then I also have this file here. I have two different type of files that we're going to be using today. One is a coarse file, so this is 100 grit, and this is 150 and 180 grit, but it's a very thin file, and I'm going to show you when I use this file, especially for when I do the reverse pink nail bed French manicure. So I'm going to show you when I use that for the demonstration. Okay, so first off, what you would like to do is push back the cuticle with a metal pusher. And this helps for you to remove and loosen up the dry cuticle that is attached to the nail plate. And that will allow you to prep the nail bed more carefully and cleaner around the cuticle area. And then the second step is we're going to use our sanding band bit. And we turn this at a very, very low speed. So on this e-file is going to read number 4. So if you don't have an LCD screen on your e-file, then just make sure that you turn it as low as possible. So number 4 means it's running 4,000 RPM on this machine. And that's pretty fast. So you just want to remove the shine. And I do so by laying my sanding band bit as flat as possible, so at a 0-degree angle. And I'm using very light pressure as well. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Because this is a 100% gel formula, you don't have to rough or damage the nail bed or do any more friction to the surface, because as long as you don't have any shine on the nail bed, then your gels will stay on very well. For example, like gel polish, you don't have to rough the nail bed at all, really. You just have to remove the shine, and gel polish stays on for 2 to 3 weeks. So this is a gel product base, and the first step that we are going to apply is the base gel. So as long as there's no shine on the nail bed, this base gel will adhere very, very good. So this base is also developed with the primer and the bonder built into the formula, so there is no additional step that you need to take before you apply this base gel. So we're gonna go ahead and apply the base gel for 30 seconds to cure. Make sure that you apply it starting from the cuticle, and make sure you cover the sides of the nails. So anywhere that you see that there's dryness, and you make sure that you apply the base in that area. Okay, just a nice thin layer. And then we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. Hi there, for those of you that are just joining in today. So I'm just going to cure this nail again for 30 seconds. The first layer I have on here is the base gel. Okay, so you can see that it's nice and clear. And it has a little bit of a sticky residue on there, so it has that inhibition layer. We want that inhibition layer because the next couple steps is what we need this base gel to work for, is for the hybrid to stick onto the nails. So the first application I'll be showing you will be the traditional white French application tip first, and then the pink. So I'm going to go ahead and get my brush and my alcohol ready. So one side is the brush and the other side is your metal spatula. So this solution in here is, again, alcohol solution, 70%. So for those of you that may have missed it, I'm going to show you again that just use 70% rubbing alcohol. And you can find this anywhere. Even the beauty supply has that. So I'm going to wake up my brush, clean it off first before I start. Okay, so this product is very nice because everything is already formulated in the tube. So it's already pre-mixed. There is no other products that you have to mix with the hybrid gel. And the only reason why I'm using the rubbing alcohol is so that I can make sure the brush tip doesn't stick to the product. And it helps me move the hybrid gel where I need it to. So I'm gonna dip my brush into the alcohol solution. And then for the French manicure, one of the technique is you need to keep this area remaining a little bit thicker than the tip of the nail. So you can taper the white towards the tip of the nail. Just make sure that you keep this section a little bit thicker. So I'm going to freehand my French for this demonstration. This is not my favorite technique actually. I'm going to show you a couple different ones, but just so you can see if there are some of you out there that like to freehand your smile line, this will be the technique that you use. So I don't have to worry about my product dripping or sliding or bleeding. So that's a nice thing about this, is I can take all the time that I want to perfect my shaping before I cure it in the light. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and taper it to the tip of the nail because I don't need it as thick as the rest of the nails. I just want to make sure that right here where my stress point is, which is the center right here by the free edge, is at least thicker than the rest of the nail. That way I can build a little bit of an apex, and that'll help me build a strength in the center and create that thickness that I need, so that way it'll be stronger in case I bend my nails or, you know, accidentally hit it. Okay, so you guys can see that you can take all the time that you need to build that French manicure. And then once you're happy with the C curve and the smile, then we could go ahead and cure that into the light. So I'm going to cure this for 30 seconds. So if you're working on two hands on your client and you're doing a fill or a full set, you can work on one finger or a couple fingers before you cure it, so it doesn't waste a lot of time at all. It's just right now I'm doing a demonstration, so it takes a little longer. Okay, so now we're ready to put on our pink for the nail bed. So remember that this area here is not very wide and we're not going to build it very thick. So just keep that in mind as you squeeze the product out of the tube, because it is a very sterile design that we made this product to be squeezed out of a tube. So once you squeeze it out, you can't put it back in. That's, you know, so that's why you just have to be aware on how much product you need. So I always recommend that you start off less and then add if you need more. So I'm just gonna build a nice thin pink nail bed for her, and then you could now blend that right into the white. And remember earlier I said that the white in the center here should be a little bit thicker, and the reason is because you don't ever want the pink to cover the white, because when you shape the nail bed and file it, and if your pink is thicker than the white, then your white will not be as pronounced. So my white here is a little bit wider and thicker, but it's okay, so because once I go to shape the nail, then it'll come out really perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and cure this again. So you want to cure this for 30 seconds. Then I want to talk about the next layer that we use. So this is the Top Gel. The Top Gel has two purposes in there. one purpose is to seal the hybrid, and the next is to shine. So the shine part comes at the very end when we can use this top gel like a regular top clear gel for the finished look. But for the next step, we're going to seal the hybrid because there's a sticky layer that is developed from after you cure the hybrid gel. So there's that sticky inhibition layer. So we want to make sure that we seal that first before we file the nail. And this will help you with the shaping as well, because this will harden the hybrid. It'll take away that sticky inhibition layer, and it'll allow you to shape the nails very easily. Okay, so for that step, we're going to cure for 60 seconds, so 1 minute in the LED. Yes, hi Ramona. She asked, 70% alcohol is okay as slip agent? Yes, it is. So we don't promote any other liquid other than the regular rubbing alcohol, because what the slip solution is, it is an alcohol-based product, and you're calling it a slip solution because that's the gelish brand. That's what they use, and they call it slip. So for us, we just recommend for you to use 70% alcohol. And that works perfect. Okay, so we want to make sure we cure that for 1 minute. All right, so now it's nice and shiny and we're able to shape the nails. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use our 100 grit file here. So you don't have to be too careful or too soft when you're shaping this nail, because it is already cured and it's dry and it's strong. The hybrid gel, it's more flexible if you compare this to the acrylic powder. So I would say, you know, if your client is a little bit rough on their hands, then I recommend that you build the nails a little bit thicker for them. It's as strong as hard gel and acrylic, but remember, there is that flexibility. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just shape it. So if you want to shape this with your e-file, you can do that as well. I'm gonna switch that off to, we're gonna use our safety bit. Okay, so when I'm using the safety bit, I turn my machine about 20 to 22,000 RPM. So that's about medium to fast speed. If you're not very comfortable using your e-file, then you want to turn that a little bit lower. Okay, so I'm just going to file the surface here. So you can move in one direction. And because she has a long nail, I'm going to go ahead and move in a downwards direction. That's perfectly fine. Anywhere that you see is still shiny, then you know it's uneven. So you can go ahead and buff that and shape that a little bit more. Okay. Let me fix the shape a little bit before we buff it. So this technique is the basic application of the pink and the white. So I built the white first and then applied the pink to the nail bed. So each layer, make sure you just cure that for 30 seconds, and then the final is going to be 60 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe that. I'm going to wipe it with just alcohol, same alcohol that I use. So then when you're done with that, we're going to finish it off with the top coat, and this also will give you that finished shine. So the final coat is going to be the top gel, and we want to cure this for 60 seconds, okay? All right. Okay, so let me move on to the next one. So that was a traditional pink and white. The next one we're going to do is going to be the reverse French. So I'm just going to use one of my practice tips here. So again, we're going to prep the nail bed from the beginning. If you guys missed this part, then it's good you can see it again. First step is we're going to push back the cuticle area. Make sure we loosen up any of that cuticle that is attached to the nail plate. And then we're going to take our medium grit sanding band. So this is 150 grit. And you just want to remove the shine. We don't have to create a very rough, porous surface because this is a gel base. So all we need to do is make sure that we remove the shine from the nail bed to the nail extension. Remove the dust. Okay, first step, you still will apply the base gel. Even though we're doing just the reverse French, the pink first, you still want to base the entire nail. And then we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. Hi, Carrie. Carrie is out in Las Vegas, and she's telling me that her clients, after the COVID, they came back to her and they were still wearing the hybrid gel on their nails after 2 months. So this product really does last a long time. As long as you prep the nails completely with no oil or shiny residue, and if you apply the base and cure that well, then your hybrid is going to last very well. Okay, so let me prepare my paper. See, there's really no mess too, and that's what I really like about this hybrid gel system is it's odor free. At the same time, it makes very little mess and hardly any waste. So you can definitely save a lot of money that way. Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze enough of the pink hybrid to put onto the nail bed area. So this technique is called a reverse French, and I'm gonna build the pink first on the nail bed. So if you guys can see, I'm using my brush very carefully around the cuticle area. So I'm just using the very tip of it at a 45-degree angle, and I don't have a lot of alcohol on my brush because I don't feel like my brush is sticking to the product. So anytime I feel like my brush and the product is not smooth as I brush and tap and apply it, then I would wet my brush a little bit with the alcohol solution. You see, there's a little bit of a difference there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give her a elongated nail bed. And I'm gonna fix my smile line. And that looks good. So when it looks good, you can go ahead and stop playing with the product and just leave it and then cure it for 30 seconds. And I think that's one of the biggest, not problem, but one of the things that a lot of beginners feel like we have to do is they feel like they have to keep touching the product until it dries. Well, it's not going to dry because this product will not cure or get hard until we cure it in the light because it is a gel base. So if you keep that in mind and understand that this is a gel product, then you know that it's not going to set, run, or dry until we cure it in the light. And that's a really nice thing about it. So you have all the time in the world to fix your shape before we set it in the LED. So for the hybrid gel, every layer, you're going to cure that for a minimum of 30 seconds. Now, if you're working on one hand and then moving to the other, of course you're going to cure it for 30 seconds or even more. Sometimes your light doesn't turn off until you remove your hand. That's perfectly fine. But as you're working with the hybrid, if you under cure this less than 30 seconds, then there may be some issues where the base will never cure and the top may feel like it's cured, but when you go to shape it and file it, then you will notice the underneath of the nail was never set correctly. So that's a really important thing to keep in mind as well. All right, so I just want to make sure, I don't think I have my light on. So I want to cure this layer for at least 30 seconds. Okay. Okay, and then now I'm ready to put on the white. But if you guys can notice how I applied the pink, it looks fairly good already, correct? But I can see that there's a little bit of imperfection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my very thin nail file, and this is there's a smooth side and then a rougher side. So I'm going to take my rough side, which is 150 grit, and I'm going to go ahead and shape it. So I'm just outlining the smile line to give it a more pronounced shape. So this will sharpen up the C curve for my French. And if I need to even any side of it that's not the same on each side, then I could go ahead and do that as well with the file. So that's one of my technique that I like to show you as well, to get that really clean smile line. Okay, so now we're ready to apply the white. So I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze a little bit of the white. And then if you notice as well, this is a fairly large piece of paper. I like to fold it to where I have a lip here, so that way if I ever need to clean my brush, I could clean it underneath where the metal spatula is. Because sometimes if you forget to clean this side, it can get really messy on your hand when you're using the other end. So just always remember to keep in mind to clean your brush. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this right directly onto the tip here. Use my brush. And also, if you notice, I'm putting very, very light pressure with this product. You don't have to be very intense at all, because this product will move very easily. It is pliable. It's almost like a paste. So if you can understand that, then you'll understand that it doesn't need a lot of pressure at all. It's not hard. It's about a medium texture. So I'm gonna, because this nail is long, I'm gonna go ahead and put my finger underneath the tip to hold it, to give it a little bit of strength. Then I'm using the side of my brush to guide the product on the side in. So, and if you notice here, the top of my brush is where I use to smooth and tap the top of the nail. So you utilize the brush for its purpose. So that when I shape the side, I move my brush to the side. When I shape the top, I use the top of the brush. And I just want to smooth it out. So the alcohol helps me to also give it a nice smooth finish to the nails as well. So if you guys can see from the side view here, everything is very flat and even. So I want to make sure that I cure this for at least 1 minute. And the white hybrid is also kind of funny, because if you don't cure this for exactly 60 seconds or more, it's going to feel like the top of it is dry, but the underneath never cured 100%, and that's going to give you some problems. So with the clear colors, like the pinks and the clear and the see-through pinks, those are okay. Those will cure perfectly 30 to 60 seconds. But with the white, anything that has pigment in it, just keep in mind, you want to make sure you cure that for at least 60 seconds, okay? And that's with the LED lamp. You can use a UV lamp, which is okay too as well. I've tried it, but it doesn't work as well. You will need to cure it for 2 to 3 times longer, and that takes too much time. So I just recommend for you to get your LED lamp, or if you guys purchase the kit, this lamp also comes with it, and it cures it just perfectly fine. All right, so I want to make sure I have a minute on here. Okay, so the next layer we're going to apply is going to be our top gel that we seal the nails with. And this is going to seal that sticky inhibition layer. And also there's some porous area on the surface that's also going to smooth that out and fill in any of those areas as well. So this is a really important step. And then we're going to cure that one more time for 60 seconds. So it may seem like I'm curing the nail a lot, but when you're working one hand to the other hand, it doesn't seem a lot at all. And it's funny because a lot of the clients now, they're very used to putting their hands in the LED lamp. As soon as you let go of their hands, they just automatically put it into the lamp by themselves, so you don't even have to remind them to put it into the light. I'm going to cure that for 1 minute. And this is the reverse technique that I'm showing you right now, and this is still the French manicure. Okay. I really like doing the reverse better than the white first. That's my personal preference, but everybody has their preference. I feel like with the reverse technique, I can build the white where the pink where I need it. Okay, so with this application, it's really nice, so I don't even have to do too much shaping. I'm gonna go ahead and switch out my sanding band, and I'm just gonna buff the nails with that. So now I'm gonna use the 240 grit, which is a fine sanding band. And that's okay to do too as well. If you guys can apply the product very nice and clean, you really don't need to do a lot of shaping. You could even just shape the nails or file the nails at the end with just a fine sanding band to smooth it out. So I'm just gonna lightly buff the entire nail. So you don't have a e-file at home, you can definitely just do this with the regular hand file. Okay, and we're gonna do a nice buff. I'm just gonna clean it off with just a little bit of the alcohol solution. Till that dries a little bit, and then you can apply your top gel again, and this will be the time that we seal it for the shine. So we're not going to file this off, we're going to leave it. And this is a really good top gel. It works with every gel that's out there, so it's compatible to use on top of other gel brands as well. Okay, so I'm just going to clean the sides there, and then we want to cure that for 60 seconds. So the hybrid is actually a very easy concept and a nice product to use. So you don't have to be afraid about not knowing how to use this product, because I guarantee you that as soon as you try it for a couple times, you're going to understand how the product works, and it's very, very easy. The one technique and the one thing that I would mention is just don't overwork the product, because it's so simple. A lot of us think that we have to keep molding and touching it, but you really don't have to at all. It's a very nice product and it's simple to use. And the best thing of all is it's odor free. It doesn't smell. It doesn't take a lot of technique, and you see here there's no mess at all. Okay, so after you cure for 1 minute, then it's all set. So the next design I'm going to be doing is going to be an ombre look. Okay, so this is the traditional French, and I did the pink first and then the white. So the next one we're going to do is going to be an ombre. So again, you want to push back the cuticles. So if this is a real client, you want to make sure that you remove all that dry skin and loosen up the cuticle around that area. And then we're going to file the nail bed. You want to prep the nail bed at a very low speed. Just remove the shine. Actually, I have to put back my medium grit because this was the fine one, and you don't want to use a fine medium, a fine grit. You want to use at least a medium grit. So I'm going to remove the shine so you can hear the difference in that. You don't want to put too much pressure or file the nails too much. All we want to do is just take off the shine so that way our gel can stay on to the nails. And it's very important that we clean up the cuticle area and push back all the skin. Okay, so the first step we're going to be using is the primer, and this is the primer and bonner already built in. So this is a one-step application. So no matter what technique you use for the nails, you still have to base the entire nail bed. Whether you're doing a fill or a full set, you still base the entire nails. Okay, so we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. So as I talk about this step here, ombreing is a very good and easy technique for clients that like to go longer than 2 weeks. I know a lot of clients of mine, they like to go for a month. And if you do a traditional pink and white on their nails, like this one here, this look here, they have to come back every 2 weeks or else it's not going to look good. So I know that for a lot of my clients that like to go for longer than 2 weeks, I always recommend them the ombre look because they can wear their nails longer and their fill lines won't look as noticeable. Okay, so we're going to do a pink and white ombre, and I'm just going to do a traditional one where I'm not going to add anything to that. So the first step that we need to do is apply the white. So I'm going to get my alcohol solution ready, and remember we're just using 70% alcohol, so we're using a 70%, okay? If you use anything more than 70%, it's not highly recommended because our brush has a coating on there, and this is a 100% Kolinsky brush. So if you use anything higher than a 70%, then the alcohol may strip that coating off the bristles and make your brushes not last as long. So I just recommend that you use 70%, and that's a perfect volume for the hybrid system. Okay, so to ombre the nails, I'm going to take a little bit of the white. So a little bit goes a long way, so you don't have to apply too much. I'm going to start like kind of in the middle. I want to ombre the nails up this area. So I'm going to start here first. I'm going to dip my brush into the alcohol and spread the product. So I want to spread the product evenly before I start to ombre. And then I want to take care of the rest of the nail. Because this product is not going to dry, I don't have to worry about ombreing this right away. So I just want to make sure that I have enough product for the rest of the nail. So for example, if I don't have enough product, it's okay. I can always add more. And if you have too much, then you can always take it away as well. But I rather add to the nails than remove it because you can't put the product back into the tube. So it's better we start off less and then just add more. Hi everybody that's just joining in today. Thank you for joining our class. So today we're going to be talking all about French design and ombre French technique. Okay, so this section right here is where I want to do the ombre. So I'm going to take my brush and it's dry. I'm going to push down. I'm going to use the middle of my brush to push down because it's thicker and it's stronger. And then here, this section here where I ombre, I'm going to dry my brush and then I'm going to pull it up and thin it out and smooth it. Okay, so when I'm happy with that, I'm going to leave it alone. So don't touch it too much. And now I'm going to make sure that I cure this for 30 seconds. So with the white French color, make sure you cure that for a complete 30 seconds. And if your client takes her hand out in the middle and put it back in, sometimes the hybrid gel will not cure how it's supposed to 100%, and that could be a problem as well. So just make sure that when you are doing a pink and white or any kind of application, you want to make sure that your client doesn't move her hand in and out of the light, because that's going to stop the cure process and it only cures the top, and then the bottom will always stay wet and soft. So that can create a lot of problems where it can lift really easily, or it can come right off, or you know, if you're filing, then you can feel like the product is not 100% cure, then it's going to also break very easily. Okay, so the second step for the nail bed, we're going to use the nude pink. So I'm going to clean off my metal side. I'm going to squeeze just enough of pink. If I need more, I can always get more. So now I'm going to start at the cuticle area. So you see where I apply the product? It's very close to the cuticle, so it gives me some room to still push down. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to angle my brush and just use the tip of it. So just use the tip of the brush, okay? You don't have to use the whole brush right now. So the tip of the brush will help you to thin out around the cuticle area. You see how good that is? So that's what you need to do, is to create that look. Hi, Lily. All right, so then after that, we're gonna take a little bit more alcohol, and then we're gonna use the entire brush, and we're gonna tap it and smooth it down, okay? Tap and smooth, tap and smooth. Very, very simple. And then this area here where I start to connect the ombre, I'm now going to make sure that my brush is dry, and then I'm gonna ombre it from this area and then pull down. I think tonight I have a lot of Vietnamese viewers, so I'm gonna explain this in Vietnamese. Bây giờ mình muốn kéo cái màu cho nó blend vô cái màu trắng. So mình để cái cọ cho nó khô ha, đừng có để nước, đừng có để alcohol. So you want to make sure that it's dry, and that way you can create a very nice looking ombre French. If you want the pink to be more lower, you can do that too. Just add a little bit more. Phải mình muốn cái màu hồng cho nó xuống thêm thì mình add thêm vô. So I'm going to pat this down a little bit. Okay, and then I can create a less white and more pink ombre. So it's very, very easy for us to adjust the way we want the look to look like, because it's still not cure yet. We didn't put it in the lamp, so we still have time to adjust the look of it. And don't worry about the thick and thin, because I'm going to show you a technique to fix that and to cover it. Okay, so the pink, we're going to cure for 30 seconds. Hi Trista, hi Amy. For those of you that are just joining us, say hi. I'd like to know where you guys are watching from. So today's class is going to be about the French pink and white. I already did a demonstration on just a traditional French, and now we're going to be showing you how to do an ombre. So I'm going to keep it really basic and simple today. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that we don't have to worry too much about the thick and thinness. It's as long as you see the ombre color looks good, then we can just cure it. And then how to fix the entire nail for it to be more stronger and secure, we're going to add some of the clear hybrid gel. So I'm going to squeeze this out of the tube. And because I'm covering more of the nail, I want to make sure I have enough. So I'm going to start here in this area. So this is the apex section right here in the center. So we want to make sure that we build enough thickness so that way it can keep this nail for it to be nice and strong in case, you know, you bump it, or if your client is also heavy-handed, this will definitely protect the nails a lot more. So that's the nice thing about the hybrid, is you can customize to your client. If I have a client that just wants really, really thin nails, just a nice thin overlay, I can put just a nice thin layer and shape it and cure it and also apply gel polish. So that's for clients that just want to protect their own natural nails. For clients that are very heavy-handed and you know that they always seem to break a nail no matter what kind of products you put on there, then you want to build this layer a lot thicker so that way it can be stronger. Okay, so now we're going to cure this for 30 seconds again. So in between time that you are applying your hybrid gels, no matter what color it is, you want to cure that for a minimum of 30 seconds. With the white color, the white French, you definitely want to cure this for at least 60 seconds, okay? Because the white has a lot of color pigment in there. 30 seconds will not be enough for it to cure completely. Just want to make sure I cure that for 30 seconds. Okay, so now we have to seal the layer, the top layer of the hybrid. So you see here, there's a little bit of that sticky inhibition layer. What that is caused by is just the separation of the gel and the alcohol. So it creates that sticky residue. So now how we protect is we're going to apply a thin layer of the top gel. And this will take away that sticky inhibition layer. Also, it'll fill in any of those porous area from the hybrid and seal it so that we can shape that very nice and clean. All right, so I want to make sure I cure this for at least 60 seconds. So I also have a lot of questions from our customers and asking us if you can fill the hybrid gel. And the answer is yes, you can. So this is a fillable product line. It's not the type of product that you apply only one time and have to remove every single service. So just remember, keep that in mind, that you need to tell your clients that with the hybrid gel nails, you can fill them so you can keep that on as long as you want to before you need a full set. I recommend, doesn't matter what kind of product that you use that you can fill with, as for example acrylics or hard builder gel, I recommend that you tell the clients they need to get a full set at least every 6 months. You don't need to do a full set that often, as long as the nails look healthy, they're coming in for their regular fills, and you're applying the service for them over and over again. Then I don't recommend you to tell them that they need a full set every single time. Of course, you're going to get some clients that want to get a full set every single time because they go too long until the nails start looking really bad or they have a couple lifting. Then, you know, if those are the clients that you think would be better off getting a full set, then go ahead and remove it and do a full set. It's very simple because this product you can also soak off. So it's also very easy to remove this hybrid gel product if you need to. Okay, so now the ombre is ready for us to shape. So just using a regular 100 grit file. So this is coarse. And the hybrid is softer than acrylic. So once you shape the hybrid, you're gonna notice it right away, that you don't have to put a lot of strength to shape the nails at all. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my regular bit. So I'm just going to use my safety bit for the rest of the nail because the cuticle area is already really nice and thin. I don't have to file that too much. So I just want to shape the rest of the nail to make sure that it's smooth. And I like that you can see the shininess of the nail from the top coat, because anywhere that I need to shape the nails to make it even, I can tell right away. I can see where the high area and the low areas are. Okay, so when I get to the tip, I just move my file in a down position. Okay, so there's not much filing that you need to do. That's why clients, they like this product as well, because you don't have to apply so thick, because you have 100% control of the application. I know with acrylic, sometimes, you know, if you're just starting off and you're not very good at it, the product can dry before you get to it, and so that's kind of like what you need to shape at the end. You spend a lot of time filing, but with the hybrid, you can control the product 100%, so it makes the shaping very, very fast. Okay, so I'm just going to buff it smooth. So if your client, if you're in a salon, you can go ahead and ask your client to wash their hands, but for our purpose, we're going to just clean it with the alcohol. See, I already did like a few fingers, but there's still a lot of alcohol left. You don't have to use a lot of product with this hybrid gel system. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and apply the top gel. So this is going to give the shine. So if you're not going to do any more design or any rhinestones, then you can go ahead and just apply the top coat and cure for 60 seconds, and then they'll be done. And this will last them 3 to 4 weeks. I do recommend that you fill the nails after 2.5 to 3 weeks, because a lot of clients ask the average length that they can go before they need a fill. But I know that a lot of times my customers that wear the hybrid, they don't come back soon. They usually go for about 3 to 4 weeks, because it feels very light. It doesn't lift, so they feel like it's not even there, and they forget that they need to come back for the fill lines. So it's kind of funny. Just want to make sure you cure that for 1 minute for the final top gel to harden and seal the nails, and also add the shine. If you happen to cure the top gel for less than 60 seconds, you're going to notice that it doesn't dry completely, and once you touch the nail bed, then you notice right away that the top gel is not 100% cure. So what you're looking for is a nice smooth finish, so when you touch the nails, you know that it's completely dry. And this is going to last the client up to two to 3 weeks before they need to come back for the fill. Let's say the client came back for the fill and their nails grow out a little bit like this, right? So this is a regular fill line. What you need to do is, when they come back for the fill after 2 to 3 weeks, the first thing that you need to do is remove all the shine on the nails. So what I usually use for that is my tornado bit, because it's a little bit quicker. You can also use your medium file bit too, that's fine. But to make it easy, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do a fill with the pink and white that we already have. Okay, so you want to remove all the shine. We're pretending that the client came back after 3 weeks. Okay, and then we're going to take our sanding band again. You can push back her cuticles. If she has a lot of cuticle, then you want to go ahead and loosen up the cuticle from the nail plate, and then use the sanding band. That way we can really clean up underneath there. So I'm going to run this slow. So she went about 3 weeks, that's why she has a lot of fill line. So we do want to make sure we check the nails if there's any lifting at all, you want to make sure that we remove any lifting area. File that smooth. So bây giờ Cindy làm bộ là khách này nó đi khoảng 3 tuần rồi. So now we're going to do a fill on her nails. So if you need to refill the white, then you're going to thin out the entire nail and then do the same technique that I showed you earlier. But if it's just the pink fill, then all you have to do is just prep the entire nail bed still. Make sure it's dry. And then use the base gel. And then start from the cuticle area. So you still have to apply the base for the whole nail. Even though it's only a fill, you do want to base the entire nail in case you need to put more pink on the nail bed. And this just makes everything more smooth. Okay, and then you cure that for, again, 30 seconds. So right now the technique I'm showing you is I'm pretending that my client already had her nails done and she's coming back for her fill. So this is about 3 weeks later, and you can see the regrowth area. And so you still need to prep the entire nail bed even though it's just a fill. And the good thing about the hybrid is you don't have to take it off every single time. You can definitely fill over and over again, just like acrylic. Okay, so I'm going to use the same color, nude pink. I'm going to take a little bit of that. So it's just a little area, so I'm just going to take a little bit. I don't have to fill the entire nail. I'm just going to refill the cuticle area. So I'm going to get my alcohol solution again. So this is only 70% alcohol. I'm going to start at the cuticle area. So make sure your brush is not too wet with the alcohol. You don't need to have that much on your brush. It's just going to help you so that way you can move and tap the product so it doesn't stick to the brush. Okay, so now we're going to tap it and then blend it to the rest of the nails. That's why you want to make sure that you have base gel on the entire nail in case you need to blend it like this. And now it's completely blended. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cure that again for 30 seconds. So the steps are very quick and easy. There's not really a lot of technique to that. It's just that you have to make sure that for each layer you cure it a minimum of 30 seconds before you move on. But you can do one hand finish and then move on to the other hand and then cure at the same time. Okay, so we're going to seal the nails again. So we're going to seal this part with the top gel. I'm going to seal the entire nail. And the sealing part of it right now is because we want to seal the inhibition layer, seal that sticky layer so that way we can shape the nails a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move that. So does anybody have any questions so far? I know this is such an easy product and the steps are very self-explanatory, so a lot of times my viewers never have any questions. But if you haven't had a chance to try the hybrid gel system yet, you definitely need to try this out. It's a really nice product line. It's super easy. You know, you only need to have a couple different things to make this product work. You definitely need to cure it with the LED lamp. We have a French collection kit that has everything in there already, so you don't need to buy anything extra. So right now we also have our French collection and our Neon Glow collection. So the Neon Glow will glow in the dark. I love that line. In the next couple weeks, I'm going to be doing a demonstration using our Neon Glow collection. So if you guys are watching today, make sure you stay tuned and follow this class, because every week I'm going to be doing classes about the hybrid gel. Okay, so if I don't need to shape too much, I'm going to go ahead and use my regular barrel bit here. This is our safety bit. And then I'm going to just smooth out the rest of the nail. So the powder is more finer too than your acrylics. So it makes it very easy for you to shape. So you don't have to put a lot of pressure. So don't put too much pressure on the nail because the hybrid is not as thick and as like strong as the acrylic. But it is definitely strong for you to wear. Like I said, a lot of my clients, they go about a month before they need to come back for a fill. I recommend they come every 3 weeks, but you know, sometimes clients like to go longer than that. Okay, so be them in buff. And then I'm just going to clean a little bit with the alcohol solution. So that's how you would do the fill for your client after 3 weeks. But if they need to come back, when they come back and they have a lot of fill line and they want to add more white, then you definitely have to just file down the entire nails, make it thinner, and then do the steps over again. Add the white and then the pink ombre, and then seal the nails. So these are the basic steps of the ombre for French. And then for that last coat, you want to cure that for 60 seconds. Okay, so 1 minute in your LED. So I'm going to do one more nail, and the next one I'm going to do an ombre, and then I'm going to add some glitter to encapsulate inside, to show you guys also another easy way to do a French design, but adding some glitter. So you want to make sure you cure that for at least 1 minute. I'm going a little bit faster because I don't want to take up too much time, but after you're done, this is the finished look. Really pretty. Okay, so the next nail we're going to do is going to be adding a little bit of glitter. So I have some pre-mixed glitter right there. So your first step is we're going to make sure that we push back the cuticle. Remove any of that dry skin. And then we're going to remove the shine off the entire nail. So we're going to use our medium grit. Just remove all the shine, all the way to the tip. Because anywhere that is still shiny, the gel is not going to last and it's not going to adhere to the nails. And that could also prevent lifting as well. So anywhere that you have a lot of dry cuticle and you didn't remove it correctly, then that's also another reason why you'll have some lifting issues. Okay, so now we're gonna remove the dust. So no matter what you're doing to the nails, you always have to make sure that we use the base gel first, and we cure this for 30 seconds. Just a nice thin layer. Make sure you cover all your edges and your sides. And we'll cure for 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna be excited about this next one because we're gonna add some glitter. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and also do pink and white. So the same colors that we've been using earlier. Get my paper ready. So again, this is our alcohol solution. So don't get confused. The jar is a green color, but the alcohol solution that we use is clear. So make sure that we use only 70%, okay? If you use anything that's more than 70%, you can, but again, it may strip the brush. It may take the brush, it might take too much of the coating that's on the brush. So I just recommend that you use 70%, and it's good enough. And we'll clean the brush each time. So the first layer, we're going to use our French white. Since I'm doing an ombre with glitter, I don't need to have a lot of white because I'm gonna encapsulate everything with the clear. I just wanna make sure that I have enough white to cover the tip and the French look. So the side of the nail, I'm gonna use the side of the brush to help me guide the product into the nail. Because this is a very easy product to use. There's no running or dripping, so you can control this product 100%. So you can make it as thick as you want or as thin as you want. So this area where I ombre, I want to make sure that my brush is nice and dry, and I'm going to pull it up. Okay, then I'm going to take my raw glitter here. You don't have to use a lot of glitter. Take my brush and I put that right onto the nail. So you can use any kind of glitter that you have. It's perfectly fine. You could put stars, you could put sequins, anything that you like to ombre inside the nail. So we're going to encapsulate this. Okay, so now I'm going to cure this layer for 30 seconds. So make sure that we're curing the white of the nail and the glitter at the same time. I'm going to put the light closer so make sure that it cures completely. Let me see some of the questions here. Oh, thank you, Ramona, for your compliments. And also, it's not as hard as liquid and powder. Yes, it's not. It's the hybrid gel product is softer to shape than the acrylic powder, because when acrylic and the liquid monomer dries together, it creates like a very hard surface, almost like a cement, you know, like really, really hard. So when you shape the nails, you have to use a lot of force to shape that into place. But with the hybrid gel, it is more flexible, so it allows you not to shape as hard. So for another suggestion, another tip is, if anybody is going to be using the larger size tube of the clear, this is a 60 ml, and we only have clear in 60 ml. One of my suggestions is it's maybe too hard to squeeze from the cap because the hole is a little bit small. So because I'm going to encapsulate the entire nail, I recommend that you remove the cap and then squeeze it from there, and it makes it a lot easier too, okay? And you could get a lot of product faster. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that onto the cuticle area, and then use my brush with the alcohol solution. Concentrate on the cuticle area first. So we're going to thin out the cuticle area, make sure we get that nice and clean, and then we can apply this to the rest of the nails. Because it's not going to run on you, so you have a lot of time to control the product. So I want to make sure I have enough to encapsulate the entire nail. And I'm also going to apply that to the white, because I didn't do a lot of a thick white layer. So I want to make sure that my clear is going to give me that coverage and the strength for that nail to be nice and strong. Okay, so that's how you would encapsulate the glitter ombre. So I want to make sure that I cure this one for at least 60 seconds. So I hope I'm not talking too much or too fast, but if you guys have any questions, you can always comment and I can check your comments and answer you. If you have any concerns or any thing that you want to ask me later, you can always message me later as well. It is good to cure 60 seconds, but for the white, definitely 60 seconds, because I feel like with the 30 seconds, it doesn't cure it completely because the white has a lot of pigment in it. Anything else like the clear or the other pink colors, even our neon glow collection colors, they're a little bit transparent. Those are okay to cure only 30 seconds in between. Okay, so now we're going to seal the sticky layer. I'm going to use my Top Gel. And I'm just going to apply a nice thin layer. Cover your sides as well. And I'm going to finish to cure this for 1 minute. Yeah, so again, Ramona asks, is it better to cure the white hybrid for 30 or 60 seconds? And I recommend you cure that for 60 seconds minimum. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying our class so far. This is one of our basic training class that we're doing today. It's going to be focused on the French manicure, either the traditional French or the hybrid ombre French. So if you guys have not tried the hybrid gel before, I recommend you to get that product and try it because it's so nice and easy. And it's great because it's odor free. I know a lot of my clients like that, and they also tell me that it's very lightweight. It's not as heavy, or it doesn't feel as constraining as acrylic. So, and then also for those clients that are allergic to acrylic system, you can convert them to the hybrid gel because this hybrid gel is actually very less toxic than the acrylic system. I know even some of my clients that are wearing the dip system, and they say they started getting allergic reaction to the glue. So I changed them over to the hybrid, and it seems like it's working out for them a lot better. So as long as a client can wear gel polish, then they can wear the hybrid gel because this is a 100% gel formula product. Okay, so I just want to smooth it out. See how you can tell that it's very easy to shape and file. As long as you apply it nice and smooth from the beginning, then it takes you very little time to shape the nails. Okay, so that was nice and easy. This is our glitter French encapsulated nail design. So you can do a full set like this in about 30 to 35 minutes. It's really fast. And for this look right here, let's just talk about pricing as well. So for a regular French nail that is about this length, for the pink and the white, I would charge a minimum of $55 to $65, and anything longer, then you wanna add more to that. For the ombre of pink and white, for just a traditional ombre, this is something I would charge $65 for a long to medium length. And for encapsulation like this, I would charge them a minimum of $60 to $75 depending on the length. So you can see with the hybrid gel system, you can charge more than just a basic full set of acrylics. Because for one thing, you don't have a lot of competition. And also with the hybrid system, it is very nice to have and to use in your salon because it is odor free. So your client's going to appreciate that. And it feels a lot lighter. It doesn't have a lot of toxic products that you have to use with the nails. There's no, strong odor from the monomer or the primer. And also the very nice thing about it is it feels very, very natural, and it's not heavy feeling as well. So a lot of clients will come back and tell me that this product to them is so much lighter than acrylic. And even the dip powder, they said it lasts longer than that too as well, because there's that flexibility in a hybrid gel to where it doesn't break off as easy. And if you prep the nails completely from the beginning, if you prepped it well and push back the cuticle and make sure there's no hangnails or any oily surface, then I guarantee this product will not lift on you. You can let your client go for 3 to 4 weeks before they need to get a fill. So this is the finished look for the glitter. This is encapsulation, very simple, easy, and I highly recommend this look for any client that wants to go longer than 2 weeks, because your traditional pink and white French, you would need to ask them to come back for at least, for a fill, a minimum of 2 or 2.5 weeks to make it look good. So I hope you guys enjoy our class tonight, and thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you join me again next week. I will have another class, and we're going to focus on hybrid gel system, and we're going to do a lot of fun nail art. So make sure you stay tuned and watch us. All right? Thank you again, and I really appreciate you. See you guys later.